We had the introduction of the St. Louis Legends. We had Greg Gagne, Larry the Axe Hennig, Baron von Raschke, who was awesome.
Oh, yeah, well, because of the Claw Master.
Oh, man, he was great.
Yeah, you know what's funny is, do you know that Larry Hennig never wrestled one match in his entire career in St. Louis?
How about that? Well, they were there tonight, so they were St. Louis Legends.
Yeah.
They were legends in St. Louis tonight.
Yeah, Greg, you know, the rest of them all did, and you know, Slaughter was a player in St. Louis. I mean, he wasn't like a superstar, but he was a star. And Greg Gagne had a few tag team matches, but he was never a major star in St. Louis at all. And I'm surprised they didn't use like Briscoe. I mean, Briscoe was like a, you know, not a superstar in St. Louis, but he was there all the time and real good, and he works for them anyway. You know, and obviously Rick and Bob, you know, Bob Orton's from there, and Rick was one of the biggest stars in St. Louis. You know, in the early years he was champion. He was drawing incredible, and you know, he main evented for, you know, forever there. So he was a big star. And the Baron, you know, the Baron was definitely a star there. You know, I mean, but yeah, so Baron was good, and Rick and Sergeant Slaughter got the big pop, and Bob Orton got a big pop because they were in St. Louis. So it, you know, it was so obvious. I mean, really, when the first time they showed the segment with Sergeant Slaughter and Bob Orton, it's like you pretty much knew what the finish was going to be in that match, and that's what it was.
So Mahal has a great entrance. I will give him that. Randy beat him all over the place early. Mahal backdropped him over the top. Randy sold it like he tweaked his knee, so Mahal went after it. Went back and forth. Randy backdropped him on the barricade. Mahal actually fell onto the Legends, and they didn't do a thing to him. They just got him out of there, so I don't know if he was actually supposed to fall over the barricade or not, but went back to work on the leg, put on a figure 4, wooed at Ric Flair, went up top and was going to do a superplex for Cowboy Bob, but Randy reversed it, hit a superplex of his own.
Well, Randy reversed the figure 4, and Mahal had to grab the ropes.
So finally, Randy does his big comeback. He hits the RKO, and a Singh brother puts Orton's foot on the ropes. And Orton is furious. He's screaming at the ref to throw them out. They're saying, don't throw us out, just DQ us.
That would have just been... That's another one which just shows how preposterous this thing is.
That's right. They were trying to take advantage of that rule, but the referee said, I'm not disqualifying you. Just get out of here. He throws him out. But instead of leaving...
So you do outside interference, but you're not disqualified, because if you get disqualified, you save the title. It's like... The whole thing, it's just... you know, I don't know. It's old school pro wrestling. It's the Booker's crutch that they're still, you know, no one else is doing it, but they're the only ones left.
So they are told to go to the back, but instead they start yelling at the Legends. They grab Bullet Bob. Randy goes to save his...
Bullet Bob's Cowboy Bob.
Cowboy Bob. I apologize.
Bullet Bob is
wrong Bob. Yes, Cowboy Bob Orton.
Yeah.
So they go to Randy goes to make the save for his dad, beats the hell out of the Singh brothers, does the same spot, dropping him on the table.
A lot safer.
Yep. One of them takes the RKO on the floor, the other takes the RKO on the table, and then after he's thoroughly destroyed both of them, he rolls back into the ring and walks right into the Cobra Clutch Slam and is pinned.
That was the exact finish they did last time.
Yep. You'd think Randy would learn. He definitely needs a Punjabi prison.
Yeah.
You know, somebody mentioned this, by the way, because we were talking about Randy and almost killing the Singh brothers last time. But somebody emailed the next day and they explained that Randy's used to picking up these big dudes, especially like Jinder, who may not really go up all that light. And here he was picking up a legit 150-pound cruiserweight, who probably went up great for him. And the combination of lifting and the guy going up for him, the guy nearly did a flip and almost killed himself.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Randy did it on purpose, and he figured it out this time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he is used to throwing around much bigger guys that don't, you know, that also aren't probably as good at going up. You're right.
Yeah. So
now I got to say this, as far as the Jinder match went, I thought that until the finish, I thought this was a really good professional wrestling match. Not a great match. It
was a very solid professional wrestling championship bout.
It was. I mean, Jinder. It's like he's certainly, like, the whole time. At no point is he a great worker, but at no point was he not good in this match. He was.
Well, to play devil's advocate, he's had like 9,000 matches with Randy Orton, so I would hope they could have a passable match on pay-per-view.
This was more than passable. This was a. I mean, it was not a great pay-per-view main event match, but I mean, it would have been if you take away the finish. I think this would have been a very good match. The finish kind of, it was still all right with the finish. I mean, it was second best match on the show easily. I mean, you could argue the body of the Usos match was better, but the finish of the Usos match was just so bad. I mean, I thought actually the Usos and New Day, as far as their work, was even better than expected. This one, I would say they were better this time than as far as the work itself in the match goes. This was well above last month's match.
So we had the Fashion Police versus the Mystery Team, who of course ended up being the Ascension. Nobody cared. I'm watching this match, and one of the announcers talks about how Fandango got a hot tag, and I was like, I swear to God I didn't notice, because this was the coldest hot tag you ever saw in your life. Runs wild, Ascension cuts him off, and then Fandango just rolled up Victor and pinned him.
Out of nowhere.
And I thought, you did all of these weeks of storylines about some mystery team that had beaten him up and trashed their office or whatever the storyline was, and you finally do the big reveal on pay-per-view, and they just beat him?
Well, it was the Ascension. I might as well get it over with.
That's why I was thinking maybe the mystery team is actually American Alpha, and this is like a decoy team. And we'll find out on Tuesday that this was not the actual team. Because there's no way this could be the payoff.
You got more faith than I do. Just wait till R-Truth
I do.
Wait till R-Truth and Goldust go on pay-per-view and they do they're given like 4 minutes. And it's not like it's not like Goldust isn't a very good worker. And R-Truth is certainly good, and I mean he's professional enough to where he can go with Goldust and have a fine match. And it's not like the promos haven't been good. Just wait. They're gonna be put in the same slot. This was just they were put in the death slot. That was the deal, and it was that's what it was. They had no chance. They were given 4 minutes, and that was it. I mean, what else? I mean, just the fact that it was the Ascension killed the match. I mean, as soon as the Ascension came out, it's like, I think if Jordan and Gable had come out, it probably wouldn't have gotten that much of a reaction either because of the slot it was in, but people would have at least been surprised, and there would have been a little bit. But the minute the Ascension came out, I mean, it was just like everyone's sitting there going like, all this, and it's the fucking Ascension, and there you go. That was what you got.